Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. Yeah, man. Sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2022. So, yeah, man. So, this is a late review. This is a late review for Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2022. A late review. And yeah, I actually did watch it on Saturday night, but I did not feel like recording it because I was way too tired to, not record it. I was too tired to review Impact Wrestling Rebellion. I was too tired to do it. And then Sunday came, I didn't feel like doing it on Sunday, and then Monday came, I was going to do it, but I ended up changing my mind. And so yeah, so I'm recording this on Tuesday. Actually recording this on Tuesday at 1:25 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon. And yeah, and I did watch Monday Night Raw last night too, but I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, overall with Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2022, it was a good show. It was a good show. It wasn't a perfect show. It was a good show. There were some things that I did not agree with, like the booking decisions. I didn't agree with some of the booking decisions. For example, Deonna Purrazzo losing her AAA Reina's championship. I thought that was the wrong booking decision. Because Taya Valkyrie is her first time back, and she get a title match, an automatic title match. And yeah, I understand it's an open challenge match, but like you lost the title. I mean, she didn't physically lose the championship. She had to give it up. But I don't know. I just believe that Deonna Purrazzo shouldn't be losing. That's my thing. And also Ishii beating Jonah. I didn't agree with that either. Like Jonah, you built Jonah up for weeks as this monster, this dominating monster that took out PCO every single week on Impact, going through all his competition and beating everybody, but he loses to Ishii. I didn't agree with that either. But other than that, man, we had some great matches on that show, on Rebellion. We had some great matches on that show. The opening triple threat match with Chris Sabin and Jay White and Steve Maclin. That was a really great match. And also the triple threat X Division title match it was Ace Austin, Mike Bailey, and Trey Miguel. That was a really great match too. And of course the main event for the Impact World Championship with Moose and Josh Alexander. That was a really great match too. And Josh Alexander beating Moose to become the new Impact World Champion. So congratulations to Josh Alexander. And then another thing, I didn't see anybody else beating Moose but Josh Alexander. But yeah, that was the absolute right decision to take the title off of Moose and put it on Josh Alexander. That was the right move. And then the whole storyline, bro, it was just so great, man. But yeah, that was Impact Wrestling, man. Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2022. And I say this all the time, like, comment, subscribe to the channel because I'm here each and every single week, man. And so yeah, so on Saturday for Rebellion 2022, we were live in Poughkeepsie. That's how you pronounce it, Poughkeepsie, New York. And our first match of the night was a triple threat match. It was Jay White versus Steve Maclin versus Chris Sabin. And as I said before, man, this is a great match. So Steve Maclin was wearing some cool looking skull face paint. It was really cool looking on Steve Maclin. And so yeah, man, so Jay White, he had a blade buster to Sabin, and then Sabin had kicked out of the move. And then at one point, man, Steve Maclin, he went for his signature move, the caught in the crosshairs to White, to Jay White. He hit it on Jay White. And he tried to hit it on Chris Sabin, but Chris Sabin had moved out of the way, and so Steve Maclin, he crashed and burned on that floor, man. He slid out of the ring, and you heard a loud thud, and that was brutal, man. That was absolutely brutal. And then Chris Sabin hit his finishing move, the cradle shock to Jay White, and then to end the match, Steve Maclin, he had came from behind and rolled up Sabin to win the match. So Steve Maclin won the match. And so Steve Maclin, he actually stole the victory from Chris Sabin. He didn't pin Jay White, he pinned Chris Sabin. And then another thing about this match, it was a much needed win for Steve Maclin, because Steve Maclin, it felt like he was, like going into the triple threat match, it felt like he was he didn't get the upper hand. He didn't get the upper hand on either one of these guys, because he lost to Alex Shelley on that past Impact Wrestling show. He had lost to Alex Shelley, and then Jay White, I think, had gave him a low blow or something like that. He gave Steve Maclin a low blow on one of those shows. And so he still hadn't gotten his revenge, but on Saturday he got his revenge by winning the match. And so man, so that was pretty much it with that, man. That was pretty much it. And so right after that, we had Josh Alexander. He was backstage with his family, so his wife and his son.
Okay. Fine. Honey, we're fine. Okay? Please worry about yourself tonight. Yes, tonight's match has been 6 months in the making. For you, honey, you have been dreaming. You have been working for this moment.
Look at that baby keep touching.
16 years. At Bound for Glory, honey, don't you remember? You had a taste of that championship title. You had it in your hands, only to get it ripped away. And we just want the entire world to see what we know. And we know that Daddy is going to be an amazing champion, right? Right? Yeah.
If this was just about what happened in Bound for Glory, I could leave it alone, okay? Moose has made this personal over the last few months with everything he's put you through, Jet through, and Lucas. Okay, Moose is gonna learn a lesson tonight. If I'm ever gonna be able to look myself in a mirror again, if I'm ever gonna be able to look my son in the eyes again, I need to show Moose that there's consequences for his actions.
Scott Demore showed up.
Look, a while ago you said you didn't need an executive, you needed your coach. So let me throw out one thing for you to ponder. Moose knows he's not better than you, so he's trying to get in your head. And he's doing it by using the most valuable, precious thing in the world to you, your family. So if you want to be successful tonight, go out there, take what's most valuable to him, the world championship. But if you let anger get in the way, you're not going to get it done. You need to take that anger, you need to put it in your back pocket, and you need to use it as motivation. You're going to go out there and you're going to teach him a lesson. You're going to win that world title by using your strengths. You're the best damn wrestler in the world. It's not just your wife and your son who think that. Anyone who's ever seen you in a ring in these 16 years knows that. Go out there, be that wrestler, and beat him and take what's yours.
Thanks, Scott.
And that was it, man. That was it. And and then another thing about the Moose and Josh Alexander stuff, man, I love the story too, man. With Josh Alexander chasing after Moose for the, chasing after the title and all that, and to finally win it, bro, it was just such a feel good moment, bro. And so but I'm gonna talk more about it in the main event. So our next match was for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, and it was Taya Valkyrie versus Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion and the AAA Reina de Reinas Champion. And so at one point, Deonna Purrazzo, she had a Russian leg sweep to Taya Valkyrie on the side of the ring apron, which had to hurt. And then Valkyrie, she had hit a powerbomb to Perazzo in midair. And then to end the match, we had Taya Valkyrie, she had a finishing move, the Road to Valhalla. So that's a version of the Glam Slam to Perazzo to win the match. So therefore, Taya Valkyrie wins the match and is the new AAA Reina de Reinas champion. And so I was shocked, man. I really was. And I didn't agree with that because like how you show up on your first night back and you get a championship title match, I don't understand that. But then again, it's an open challenge match. But yeah, I don't know. But at least Deonna Purrazzo still has the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. At least she has that title. But yeah, Deonna Purrazzo, I believe, man. In my opinion, dude, I believe that Perazzo should not be losing at all. At all. That's why I didn't agree with this outcome. I didn't agree with it, man. I didn't agree with it. And so right after that, we had Gia Miller. She was backstage. She interviews Tasha Steelz, who is the Impact Knockouts World Champion or the Knockouts World Champion, with Savannah Evans in her corner.
What an impressive return for Taya Valkyrie and new AAA Reina de Reinas champion. And now here I am with another champion, Impact Knockouts World Champion Tasha Steelz. Tasha, how are you feeling going into tonight, your first pay-per-view title defense, and against someone you have a dark history with, Rosemary?
First of all, Gia, felicidades, Taya. Welcome back. You may have a title, but I have the title, okay, mama? Second of all, Gia, how do I feel? How do I feel? You shouldn't be asking me, how do I feel? You should be asking Rosemary how she's gonna feel tonight, taking a L from me, the history maker, La Boricua badass, the greatest that beat the greatest, Tasha Steelz. You see, Rosemary, you've been chasing flavor since 2020, and still today you're chasing flavor, and I know how bad you wanna taste, and you're gonna get it tonight. But see, here's what's gonna happen tonight, Rosemary. With you thinking that you're gonna drag me to a realm, See, the dragging is gonna be done by me. I'm gonna drag you right through Pettyville, okay? Drag you by your stupid demon edges. And I'm gonna drag you through Pettyville, and I'm gonna bring you to the hard knocks of Steelz. And I'm gonna be standing over you, and still, Knockouts World Champion. And as I'm looking down on you, I am going to ask you how you like me now. And that is on what, Gia? Oh.
And that was it, man. That was it with that. So right after that, we had the Triple Threat X Division Championship match. And we had Ace Austin versus Mike Bailey versus Trey Miguel, who was the X Division champion. And this was a banger of a match, bro. A banger of a match. Dude, at one point, Trey Miguel, he had an explosive tope suicida to Austin. Bailey hit an outside moonsault on Austin on his back. Trey Miguel was holding him up like in a fireman's carry, I think it was. And so Mike Bailey hit a outside moonsault and he landed right on Ace Austin's back. Right after that, man, I freaking winced, bro. I winced. That looked painful, man. You got to go back and watch it. At one point, we had Trey Miguel hit a sliding cutter to Austin from inside of the ring into the outside of the ring. So he slid from inside of the ring. He slid out of the ring and hit a cutter to Ace Austin. And so yeah, man. Then we had a springboard moonsault to Austin from Bailey, and he undershot that, bro. He really did. That could have been disastrous, man. That could have been catastrophic. But he still hit the move. And then we had a hurricanrana to Bailey from Trey off of the ring apron onto the floor. They were going back and forth, bro, with their signature moves and all that stuff. And then we had a brain buster to Bailey, followed up by the diving meteora. So that's from Trey Miguel. And then Austin, he had pulled the referee out of the way. And then to end the match, man, Ace Austin hit his finishing move, the fold, to Trey Miguel to win the match. So therefore, Ace Austin wins the match, and it's the new X Division champion. And so yeah, so this is the second title change, man. The second title change. And yeah, just like Deonna Purrazzo, man, Trey Miguel, he should have remained the champion, man. He should have remained the champion. That's my opinion. Because Ace Austin, it felt like he kept getting X Division title match after X Division title match. And yeah, at one point he held the X Division championship and he lost it. And he kept getting opportunity after opportunity after the X Division championship. And he kept getting involved in these contenders matches and all that stuff. Trey Miguel should have retained, man. He should have retained. I really wanted him to defend that championship against more people and stronger opponents. So right after that, we had a vignette from somebody named EGV. And so they're coming really soon. And so yeah, that's all we gotten from that. Right after that, we had Honor No More. They were backstage. So that's Eddie Edwards, Maria Kanellis-Bennett, Mike Taven, Matt Taven, Mike Taven. Eddie Edwards, Maria Kanellis-Bennett, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Vincent, and Kenny King. So they were backstage. And I believe they were talking about that 8-person elimination match. I really didn't pay too much attention to it, but I believe that we're talking about the 8-person elimination match, tag team match for the tag team titles, Impact World Tag Team Championships. Oh yeah, and PCO wasn't there either because Jonah killed him, quote unquote killed him. And speaking of Jonah, we had a match with Jonah versus Tomohiro Ishii, who had a match against Adam Cole on AEW Rampage. And so yeah, this was a hard hitting match, man. This is a hard hitting match, bro. Jonah kept knocking this dude down, and Ishii kept getting up every time. He kept getting up every time. Jonah, he had a run-in senton to Ishii, which absolutely crushed him, bro. And then Ishii hit a snap German suplex to Jonah, and Jonah is a big freaking dude. He is a big freaking dude. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were trading clotheslines and lariats, and then Jonah hit a Jonah bomb to Ishii, and he kicked out. And then Jonah had speared Ishii. You usually don't see Jonah hit a spear, but that, bro, a big dude hitting the spear, man, that gotta hurt, bro. And then Jonah tried to go for the tsunami, but Ishii, he moved out of the way. And then Ishii hit a basement lariat to Jonah, and he kicked out. And so to end the match, we had Ishii hit the brain buster to Jonah to win the match. So therefore, Tomohiro Ishii wins the match. And I was like, what? Come on, man. I was like, man, how did he lose? How did he lose to Ishii? Like Jonah took, this is the same guy that took out PCO, man. And you telling me he can't beat Ishii? Like Ishii, he's he's an older guy too. He's an older guy too. Not much older than PCO, but like I don't know. Jonah should have won that match. You built him up as this dominating monster that couldn't be beat. You made him look strong the entire time, and he lose to Ishii. Bruh, Adam Cole beat Ishii on Rampage. Yeah, yes, granted he needed help to beat Ishii, but he still beat Ishii. He still beat Ishii despite a distraction or interference from Jay White. He still beat Ishii. And you telling me Jonah couldn't beat Ishii? Or Eddie Edwards couldn't beat Ishii? Because they had a match too on that multiverse show. So you telling me that Jonah couldn't beat Ishii? People like that should not be losing, man. Jonah is a guy that could not afford to lose. There are certain people that could take a loss, but there are certain people that can't take a loss. And Jonah is that person that can't take a loss. So right after that, we had the 8-team elimination challenge for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. And so our first team was the major players. So that's Matt Cardona, who is the digital media champion and also the NWA World's champion. And Brian Myers with Chelsea Green in their corner. And the second team came out Jordan Grace and W. Morrissey. And so yeah, man, I'm not gonna go over everything in this match. So Cardona, he had rolled up Grace to eliminate Grace and Morrissey, and right after Morrissey was distracted by Chelsea Green. So Chelsea Green had distracted them, which caused them to lose. Right after the match, Morrissey and Grace, they attacked the major players, and then Chelsea Green low blowed Morrissey, but to no effect because Morrissey, he was wearing a cup. And then I think she had low blowed him the last time. And this time he was wearing a cup. And then Morrissey, bro, he hit a power bomb. He had power bomb Chelsea Green through a table. I was like, oh my god. I was like, man, he freaking obliterated her, man. He obliterated her. Like Morrissey is a big dude, man. He is big and tall and strong, and he power bombed Chelsea Green, a female, bro, through a table. I was like, oh my god, bro, wow. And so yeah, I was like, man, I was about to pull out a JR, man. She is broken in half. But yeah, so that was it with that, man. And our third team came out the Good Brothers, so that's Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson representing the Bullet Club. And so the Good Brothers, they had brought the major players back into the ring, and so they hit the Magic Killer to Cardona to eliminate the major players, so the major players are eliminated. And then our fourth team came out Johnny Swinger and Zicky Dice. And so at one point, Dice, he accidentally punched Swinger. And so they hit the Magic Killer to Dice to eliminate Swinger and Dice. So Swinger and Dice are eliminated. Our fifth team came out Rich Swan and Willie Mack. And so, yeah, they were going back and forth. And Gallows, he had tripped up Mack on the top rope. And then Mack, he had grabbed at his knee after that. And so Gallows, he had chokeslammed Swan on the ring apron. And then they hit the Magic Killer to Mack to eliminate Swan and Mack. And so our 6th team came out Honor No More. So that's Matt Taven and Mike Bennett of Honor No More. And so in the entranceway, we had Vincent, Kenny King, and Maria. They came out. And so everybody thought that they were going to participate in the match. And so Taven and Bennett, they came from behind and they attacked the Good Brothers from behind. So they were fighting the entire time. So they were brawling. And so Taven, he had pinned Anderson while Maria was holding on to Anderson's foot. So Anderson couldn't kick out. The Good Brothers got eliminated. So, and then right after that, the Good Brothers and Honor No More, they brawled right after the match was over. And then our 17 came out, Heath and Rhino. And so Maria, she kept getting involved in this match. And so Rhino, he had hit the gourd to Taven to eliminate Honor No More. So Honor No More is eliminated. And so our final team, which is no surprise to anybody, was Violent by Design, who are the Impact World Tag Team Champions. So that's Eric Young and Joe Doring with Diener, who is also the Tag Team Champions, Freebird Rule. And so, yeah, so Diener was in that corner. And so, yeah, so Heath, he had hit his finishing move, the wake-up call to Young. And then Diener, he had put Eric Young's foot on the rope. And so, yeah, so to end the match, we had Eric Young hit the power driver to Heath to win the match. So, therefore, Violent by Design wins the match and are still the Impact World Tag Team Champions. And so, yeah, so this is the first time tonight. That was the first time tonight that a champion retained their title. And so, yeah. And, yeah, just like what I said before, man, I did not take a lot of notes in this match. I didn't try to take a lot of notes in this match because I would be here forever if I did. But yeah, this match was all over the place, man. This was all over the place. It was clustered. It was a cluster. But yeah, it was still good. It was a good match. But it was a cluster, man. A cluster of a match. These multi-man matches, they are a cluster. And so yeah, so right after that, we had the Knockouts World Championship match. It was Rosemary with Havok in her corner versus Tasha Steelz, who is the Impact Knockouts World Champion, with Savannah Evans in her corner. And so at one point, Tasha Steelz, she had slapped Havok in the face. Havok was outside the ring. And so Havok had grabbed Steelz by her neck. And so the referee had ejected Havok from ringside. It could have easily been a disqualification because Havok had put her hands on Steelz, but the referee continued the match. And so, yeah, man. Tasha Steelz, she had the Stratisfaction to Rosemary, and she kicked out. So she was, she was mocking Mickie James and Trish Stratus. And so Savannah Evans, she got involved in this match too. She distracted the referee. And then Steelz had grabbed her championship belt. And she tried to use the championship on Rosemary, but the referee had took the title away from Steelz. And then Evans had attacked Rosemary, and of course the referee didn't see it. And so at one point, Tasha Steelz tried to go for the blackout, her finishing move, that crucifix bomb. But she had botched it the first time, and she ended up hitting it this time. And Rosemary, of course, had kicked out of it. Steelz, she had missed a frog splash. And at one point, Rosemary, she had spit green mist in Evans' face and her eyes. And then Rosemary had hit the spear to Steelz, and then Steelz had kicked out. And then we had an avalanche cutter to Rosemary, followed by a pump handle driver to Rosemary to win the match. So therefore, Tasha Steelz wins the match, and it's still the Impact Knockouts World Champion. And so that was it with that. So this is the second time tonight that somebody retained their championships. So right after that, we had an announcement for Under Siege. So Under Siege is on May 7th, so that's next Saturday. I believe it is next Saturday. And then we have Slammiversaries on June 19th. And so, yeah, man, so that's it with that, man. And so right after that, we had the main event. And the main event was for the Impact World Championship. And it was Josh Alexander versus Moose, who is the Impact World Champion. And so, yeah, so Josh Alexander, he had came out with his son. And his son was dressed like his dad in his wrestling gear. So that was really nice. And so the crowd was split. The crowd was electrified. They was split. And so Moose had gotten Josh Alexander's wife face. And so Moose had asked Josh Alexander's wife how her ribs were because Moose had speared her at an indie show. Yeah, we had a series of German suplexes to Moose. Josh Alexander hit like 11 German suplexes to Moose. And then Moose had hit his other finishing move to go to hell to Alexander. He kicked out. And then Moose tried to go for a diving crossbody, but he missed it. And then Josh Alexander locked in the ankle lock. Moose had grabbed the rope. And then so both of these guys, they were going back and forth with chops. And then, yeah, and they were both slapping each other too. And Josh Alexander actually hit the C4 spike to Moose, but Moose had put his foot on the rope. And then we had a superplex to Josh Alexander. He kicked out. And then, Moose tried to go for the spear, but Josh Alexander had caught him in midair and hit the Styles Clash. He hit the Styles Clash to Moose. And I popped for that, man. I popped for that. Followed up by the ankle lock. and then Moose had grabbed the turnbuckle pad and it came off. The turnbuckle pad did. And so Moose, he had threw Josh Alexander's neck into the exposed turnbuckle, and he speared Josh Alexander and he kicked out. And I was like, what? I was like, man, that would have been it, bro. That would have been it. In a normal match, that would have been it. But he kicked out of that, so I was actually shocked that he kicked out. And then Moosey had took off the top turnbuckle and he exposed it. And then, yeah, man, and Moosey had powerbombed Alexander on the exposed top turnbuckle. And so I was like, yeah, that's it, man. I was like, that was it. And so Moose tried to go for the spear, but Josh had blocked it with a knee strike. And so to end the match, Josh Alexander hit his finishing move, the C4 spike to Moose to win the match. So therefore, Josh Alexander wins the match and is the new Impact World Champion. And so right after the match, Josh's wife came out and his son came out into the ring and they celebrated with Josh. And that was it, man. That was it. This is a great match, bro. This is a great match and a great feel good moment for Josh. For winning that championship and everything that he had to go through to get that title. Enjoyed the storyline and the trials and tribulations that Josh went through to get to the world championship. I enjoyed that, bro. Him having to go through Minoru Suzuki and Charlie Haas and Jonah and Chris Sabin and everybody else that he had to fight to get to Moose. Dude, that was some great stuff. And then Moose going after Josh Alexander's family, going to his house, and going to his house. Not only going to his house, but going inside of his house. That was some great stuff, bro. That was some great stuff. The entire storyline was freaking great. It was great, man. And his match was great. And Josh Alexander, I didn't see anybody else beating Moose for that championship but Josh Alexander, man. But yeah, you cannot argue with that. You cannot argue with the outcome of this match. This is a great match, man. This is a great match. And I believe Moose does has a rematch. He does has a rematch, I believe, on Impact Wrestling this coming Thursday. So yeah, man. But he's not gonna beat Josh Alexander. He's not gonna beat Josh Alexander. But yeah, man. That was it, man. That was it with that, man. And yep, that was it. That was it with Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2022. This is a late review. And I just like what I said before, I am recording this on Monday at 1 o'clock p.m. on a Tuesday morning or a Tuesday afternoon. And I did watch, not Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I said Tuesday, right? Tuesday. And so, yeah, I did watch Monday Night Raw last night. We had the Randy Orton 20-year anniversary. I enjoyed that. I really did. And then they had an 8-man tag team match at the end of the show. So I thought that was a great match, too. You know, a great thing on this show. But Raw was okay. It was okay. Raw was an okay show, but it wasn't the best show. Not saying it was worst. But yeah, some things on this show was the worst. But yeah, we did had a lot of things that happened on Raw last night. Asuka returned, Becky Lynch returned after WrestleMania. So Becky Lynch came back, Asuka came back, Mustafa Ali came back. Kane was on the show too. Yeah, there were some things that happened on Raw last night. But yeah, it was an okay show. But yeah, Randy Orton is a guy that I grew up watching, man. A person that I grew up watching. And probably one of my favorite bad guys. My favorite bad guys. It had to be Edge. Is either Edge or Randy Orton for me. One of my favorite bad guys growing up. But yeah, man. But congratulations to Randy Orton for his 20-year anniversary, man. Congratulations. 20 years in the business. Not 20 years in the business, but 20 years in WWE. I think he actually 22 years in the business. Yeah, it got to be 22. I think it's 22 years in the business. But in WWE, he's 20 years in the business, man. That is impressive, bro. 20 years in the same company, never went anywhere else. Never went anywhere else, man. 20 years in the same company, bro. That is impressive. That is impressive. And then Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton having their little moment too. So we had a sort of a legacy reunion. We just needed Ted DiBiase Jr. But we didn't see Ted DiBiase Jr. last night on Raw. But yeah, man, that was it, man. So that was it with Rebellion 2022 and my mini review of Monday Night Raw, Impact Wrestling Rebellion. It was a good show, man. It was a really good show. And yeah, it wasn't perfect. And just like what I said before, there are some booking decisions I did not agree with on Rebellion, but it was a good show. It was a really good show. We had some banger of matches, man. A lot of banger of matches on this show. That's all I got to say about it. But yeah, man, if you guys like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new around here or if you're watching Nero and Awesome Show, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I am here each and every single week, man. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for our AEW Dynamite. I cannot wait for that Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler match, for the qualifying match for that Owen Hart Cup. That should be really good. And CM Punk is a guest commentator on that, in that match. And so yeah, a match that shocked me the most, bro. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. I would have never thought that these two would be going 1-on-1 against each other. But yeah, that should be really good, man. Cannot wait for Wednesday. I'm about to end this, and I'm gonna take me a little nap because I gotta go to wrestling practice today. Gotta go to wrestling training today, and I gotta drive an hour and 30 minutes to Crowley, Louisiana. So, yep. And I gotta perfect my craft. I gotta polish up. I gotta get better. I gotta learn some new moves. Once again, guys, thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And yeah, just like what I said before, I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And yep, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.